It's that time, y'all. Time for big boys boxing.
I was gonna rip his heart out. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me.
Kia ora team, and welcome back to Big Boys Boxing. So it's fight week for Alexander Povetkin versus Whyte, the rematch, with another couple of heavyweight fights on the card. So it is prediction time. So we'll start at the bottom of the card. Firstly, we have up and coming, very promising looking prospect Fabio Wardley is going to be taking on Eric Molina. A bit of a kind of step up, but most of us don't really rate Eric Molina that highly in the first place. At present, Fabio Wardley is 10-0. Eric Molina is 27-6. He's taken a few losses in recent years. Since he got into title contention, pretty much every fight he's been in since then that's worth mentioning, he has lost. So I'm expecting Fabio Wardley to clean Eric Molina's clock pretty quickly. Maybe 4 rounds, ease his way in, and I think he'll stop Eric Molina somewhere there. Next on the card for the heavyweights is German prospect Eric Pfeiffer. He's 7-0. Will be taking on Nick Webb, who is 16-2. Now, Nick Webb was a promising prospect for a while until he took on Dave Allen and got starched. And then he went and took on Kamil Sokolovsky and got stopped again. However, he did win a tournament where they all fight in the same night recently, about a year ago. And that's Nick Webb. But Eric Pfeiffer was a promising amateur. He's got wins over some notable names in the amateurs, but as a pro, he hasn't fought anybody. But just based on his amateur pedigree, he should win this fight, I think. Nick Webb will be in there, and don't get me wrong, Nick Webb can hit like a mule, so if he does hit you, it could do some real damage, but I think Eric Pfeiffer's a bit too smart and a bit too savvy to be getting caught by the big slow winging shots of Nick Webb. I think this fight will also be over within 4 rounds. I think 4 rounds, yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. So yeah, that's pretty much those first 2 fights. Now into the big one, Alexander Povetkin versus Whyte. So a very interesting fight. As we know, the last time they met, Whyte was boxing his way through the fight very, very successfully, put Povetkin down twice in the 4th round, and then in the 5th, at the start of the 5th, Povetkin feinted to throw a left hook to the body, turned it into an uppercut. Whyte didn't see it coming and got absolutely sparkoed. He keeps saying that he wasn't sparkoed and he got up at 7 by the ref's count, but I don't know if he's watched the replay or not. The ref didn't even count, so how can he get up at 7? He was sparkoed. It's not the first time he was sparkoed by Joshua with an uppercut. He was sparkoed by Povetkin with an uppercut. He was dropped by Oscar Rivas with an uppercut. It's a susceptible punch for him, particularly against guys who are smaller than him, i.e. Povetkin, Rivas. Now, I'm sure in his training he's probably been training to keep Alexander Povetkin at range, at least for the first 5 rounds, and try and pot shot him from the outside. And he will be very wary of the uppercut, but I hope he hasn't focused solely on the uppercut, because Povetkin has a very good left hook as well. He can come upstairs with that left hook and put somebody to sleep as well. Yes, he is 41 years old. Yes, he didn't look that great in the last fight they had. He looked like his timing was out. He looked like his legs were a lot slower than they used to be. His head movement wasn't as pronounced. But power's the last to go, and it only takes one shot, like we saw. Now, last time I was picking Dillian Whyte to win this fight. And you know what? I'm going to go with it again. I was wrong last time because of that one punch that Povetkin landed. And I could be wrong again. I will be rooting for Povetkin. I want Povetkin to sparko Dillian Whyte once again. Shut his big mouth. However, I think the chances of that are quite low. So I'm just looking at some bookies odds at the moment. Some methods of victory. I'm looking at Povetkin by decision. $21. That's 21 to 1. Alexander Povetkin is paying to win on points. That just goes to show how unlikely this fight is going to go. The distance, right? Povetkin by KO is paying $4.20, so that's just over 4 to 1. Dillian Whyte for a decision is $4.50, so the bookies are thinking maybe he's going to try and box and move and stay away from Povetkin all night, use his substantial reach advantage, and possibly box his way to a points decision. But the most likely outcome that the bookies have got is Dillian Whyte by KO or TKO, paying $1.62, so just over 1.5 to 1. And I think that's probably right. My official prediction is going to be Dillian Whyte via stoppage, round 8 or 9. I think he's going to be wary in those first few rounds, so he doesn't get sparkoed again. But I think Povetkin will have some success in the earlier rounds 1 to 4. He's extremely dangerous, as we saw, as we know. Power's the last to go. But I think realistically Dillian learnt his lesson, and if he hasn't, he's got to be thicker than pig cucker. So my official prediction for this fight is Dillian Whyte via stoppage, rounds 8 or 9. So let us know what you think. Your prediction, the method of victory, and if it's going to be a stoppage, what rounds. Give us a group of 2 rounds that you would pick, and we can get some conversation going. Looking forward to seeing your opinions, and don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you in the next one. I'm Jono from Big Boys Boxing, and I'm out. See you!
Subscribe to Kiwi Box.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Good luck.